there, Therese here. Thank you so much for signing up for my energetic protection free download. This is probably one of the most amazing points in time in history. Now, I know we're living in very turbulent times, but at the same time, the expansion of mass consciousness is happening. We are upgrading on a personal level and on the level of a species. The human being is transforming from a third density entity into a fourth density entity. Now, this is incredibly exciting, and it's one of my favorite topics to talk about, which is called ascension. And basically what I'm talking about here is our consciousness increasing, going from a third density, or the level at which our consciousness is vibrating, perspective. And third density is very much about identity in relation to social connection, right? So we see ourselves as an individual who is separate from the group, trying to relate to the group. And that's what third density is in a nutshell, is identity. But we are transforming as we speak. We are on this journey of transformation into a more collective consciousness where we start to identify that we're actually not separate. Separation was an illusion, and we are part of a whole. And as we do that, our consciousness increases and we get to experience new levels of energy and new ways of being. So it's a very exciting time. And there's a good chance, if you resonate with this work because you downloaded it, because you found value in it, that you are here with a very specific soul purpose. You are most likely a light worker, a healer, a being of light, a starseed. I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but it's one of my favorites. Basically, it means that you came here with the intention of assisting humanity through this transformation. That's a pretty awesome job and a pretty big one. You'll know that this is you if, number one, you've always felt kind of off and different. And I'll give you an example. Maybe in your childhood, you sort of felt like you weren't home, even when you were in your own home. That was one of my experiences. That's usually the sign of one of these types of souls who's actually coming from another sort of energetic sphere into this one. Like, this isn't my home sphere. Number two, you've always felt you had a big purpose, like you're here for a very important reason. And a lot of times we're, as a young child or a young adult, we're trying to figure out, well, that must mean I'm supposed to be famous or maybe do something really big. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do. But it could just be this sense of soul mission that you're here for a very important time. And three, you know that this all resonates with you because you have a feeling that time is running out, with an awareness that time doesn't even exist. I know that one's kind of tricky. Let me say it again. You have a quantum awareness that time is only relevant to this physical plane. Once you're off this physical plane, like let's say you're on the other side of the veil, time isn't as relevant. But being here, you feel time as well. So you know time doesn't exist, but you feel time. And for you, it feels like you've got to hurry up and figure this out. You got to figure out your mission and you've got to get it done because time is running out. If one or all of those things describes you, welcome. You are a light warrior, a starseed, a healer, and maybe possibly all of those at once. So why would we need to focus on energetic protection if we are these amazing beings who just happen to look human hanging out on planet Earth? Well, when you're here on this plane, you are subject to the laws and events that happen on this plane. And in 3D, we have a very tricky situation. It is not all or nothing. It is very much polarized on the 3D plane, meaning that everything good, beautiful, and well exists just as much as everything kind of dark, separate, and dangerous can exist together. In the 3D world, polarity is offered in equal measure. That's why two people can have a similar experience, almost the same experience. And one of them will be focused more on the positive and see the positives of the experience, while one might focus more on the negatives and see the negatives. Neither one is more right than the other. They're both right, because catalyst is what gets us to grow or move forward. It's kind of like the prod that gets us to move. Catalyst is offered in equal measure on this plane. So you're going to be offered equally problems and solutions. They're born together at the same time, and it'll be how you focus. That's easy to say and a little harder to do. When we get caught up in the negative catalyst that comes our way, it is so easy for our energy and frequency to go down. And as that happens, as our energy and frequency to go down, we seem to be a magnet for negative or unwanted energies. This is because we are energy, and like attracts like. So when we are vibrating higher in a higher frequency, we're attracting those higher energetic matches, higher frequency experiences. When we start vibrating lower, we're going to attract those lower frequencies and those kinds of experiences. What energetic protection teaches you is how to keep your energy clean and clear by practicing spiritual hygiene. So the point of offering you this course is not to scare you and make you feel like scary, dark things are out to get you. That is one perspective that you can share in. But really, we want to focus on, what's my energy doing? Since I'm made of energy, am I resonating in a way that's attracting experience I want, or am I resonating in a way that keeps taking me down, right? Because think about it this way, with energy, if you're resonating high, the better it gets, right? The better you feel better, and you attract even more in that matching frequency. It's the same with the lower frequency. If something takes you down in energy, if somebody's bad mood takes you down in energy, then another event happens that compounds it, then you lose your keys and get locked out of the house for hours, right? That takes you down in energy, and then the next negative event can continue to take you down. So by learning to practice spiritual hygiene, we can keep our own energy clear and keep ourselves from going into a downward spiral when we're in contact with negative catalyst or negative experience. Now, our energy has a way of collecting in the body, and you may have heard of these. They're called chakras. I feel like most people know what chakras are, but just in case you're new to them, let me share that with you. The chakras of the body are energy centers. So this is where energy that we're producing, that's floating around us, gets concentrated. And in those centers, they focus on certain areas. So we can get energized in certain areas of the body, or we can get blocked in certain areas of the body. Now, we're going to look at the 7 chakra map, and this one are the 7 centers that sort of run up the center of the body. We've got red for the root chakra, orange for the sacral chakra, yellow for the solar plexus, green for the heart, blue for the throat, indigo for the third eye, and violet or ultraviolet white for the crown. How the chakras work. So your root chakra, which is the red one at the base of your spine, and your crown chakra sort of act like readout points or doors. Now, our root chakra has to receive vital energy from the earth. So you're an electromagnetic being, and you are charged by the earth's electromagnetic field. We are intimately connected to the earth. If we were to somehow pop off the earth without her charge, we would actually start to feel a negative physical effect. So at your root chakra, I think of it like a front door, and it opens to energy, vital energy coming, life force energy coming up from the earth, and it moves through each chakra centers as it comes out the crown. As this energy comes up and out your crown chakra, it sends a readout of energy into the Akashic field, which is read by your higher self. So it's almost like you can imagine this sort of receipt tape coming out of the top of your head that's like, here's the health of your root chakra, of your sacral, here's what's happening in your heart. Your throat is blocked by this, and your third eye is open to this, and and it comes out. So it's really interesting that we're constantly getting a readout of energy, both from the root chakra, because the root chakra is reading out how much vital energy your body is taking in. And your crown chakra sort of sends out these reports about how you're doing energetically. Now, what's really interesting, side note, is people can read these reports, right? So I can actually go in and read your chakras and feel which ones are on point and which ones feel like they need some help. And there are other devices that can read this too, like Kirlian photography, which can actually take photos of your aura field, because that readout, it's coming out of your body and moving in the energetic field around your body. So before we go for today's lesson, let me tell you some cool facts about your chakras that you may or may not know. Your chakras can open and close like a flower. When your chakras are open and not extended, like not hyper open, but open, this is when we feel the best. This is when the chakra is most in tune, and you're going to be feeling positive energy, vital energy flowing through. When the chakra is closed, it means that it's not open to that energy. You're going to feel a deficit. When the chakra is hyper open, there is too much energy flowing through that chakra, and it can cause an extreme in whatever energy center it's related to. So they open and close. Not many people know this one, but your chakras can move, and you can move your chakras at will. So yes, you can almost imagine that they're the centers in the body, and that once you start connecting to them, once you start opening them, you can actually move that energy center around. I kind of picture it like a boomerang, like you could sort of send it out and come back to you. When we're practicing telepathy, this is one of the ways that we communicate, is we can open the heart chakra and send the energy out to another person or being. Your chakras can spin. They can spin like a globe. They can flatten themselves out. They can pop back and expand and contract. Your chakras also hum. And then this is such a cool fact, because your chakra can be tuned with music. Each chakra resonates to a certain note and can be tuned or helped by playing that note. Isn't that cool? And that brings me to my next point, that you can actually tune your chakras. It's just like tuning a guitar string. You can get them to that optimal place by working with frequency, sound, singing, humming, visualization. Your chakras aren't stuck in any one state, and they're very responsive to you. So it's not like you need to have something outside of you align your chakras. You can learn to do this for yourself. One of the ways that you can tune your chakras is tuning them with color. You can tune your chakras with color by simply staring at the corresponding color for a few minutes. It can start to tune and regulate your chakra centers. For example, if you wanted to tune or regulate your heart chakra, you want to stare at the color green. I also like to do art in this way. It's one of the things I teach when I'm working with people on Patreon, is that you can use art to help heal the body. So simply by playing with, for example, the color green, you could cut out green paper and paste it in place. You could draw in green. You can paint in green. You can just let yourself be saturated with that color for a few minutes, and you'll already be doing tuning work with your own chakras. Another way to tune your chakras is with food. Just like color, food can tune certain chakras. And you guessed it if you guessed that the color of the food is very important. So for example, carrots, which are orange, would help to tune your sacral chakra, whereas eating a banana would help to tune your solar plexus. And guess what? There is one food that tunes every chakra. Every chakra resonates to it. Can you guess what it is? It's broccoli. I'm not kidding, it's broccoli. I happen to love broccoli. I think it's funny that broccoli is often given a bad name, but broccoli tunes every single chakra. So make sure you eat your broccoli regularly. And finally, another way you can tune your chakras is with crystals. And again, we're looking at the color. We're using a corresponding color with each chakra. So we might start with garnet, for example, which is dark red, that could be placed over the root chakra. While on the third eye, you want to place something that is a darker blue, for example, lapis lazuli. One of my favorites to use is Light 23 for the third eye chakra because it has a beautiful blend. It can go dark purple to a light purple, but that also works with your crown chakra. So you want to draw that little map. Now, our rainbow is based on our 7 chakra system. So the spectrum of light we see in the sky is also reflected into our body. So that's all you have to do is think about the rainbow and Roy G. Biv, and you'll know exactly what colors to use to tune your own chakras. I look forward to talking to you in the next video about auras and different techniques to help you protect your energy. I'll see you real soon. Stay magical.